Police emergency.
She stopped breathing.
When crisis strikes,
My boy's kicking off me, trying to attack me.
this is where we turn.
He's got a knife now and they're arguing.
People don't call because everything's going hunky-dory.
It's our emergency services
Whereabouts are they, mate?
who see firsthand
He's getting a blow, isn't he?
what Britons really like.
You're going to get people with AK-47 going out to my house?
He's got broken eye socket, completely unprovoked.
You've been in prison for harassing somebody else.
I know I was in bloody prison before!
I really hope that's not poo.
And how it's changing.
You need a what, sorry?
Fucking massage.
You need a massage. All right, well, the ambulance service does not provide those.
For the nation's ambulance and police services,
3 weeks.
times have never been tougher.
Fuck off. I said fuck off.
Are you sending an ambulance or not?
The safety nets that people once had just simply don't exist.
You
You need to come this side of the barrier.
But when it matters most,
It's going blue.
theirs is still the number
I'm scared.
the nation relies on most.
Have dispatched officers on priority. Thank you for listening.
It's fine, it's fine. That's what I'm here for.
You've done the right thing by calling us.
Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done, my darling.
In Wiltshire
This is when all the flashes start coming out.
and right across the UK,
He had his watch hanging out, and it is definitely abnormal behaviour.
crimes driven by sex and sexual desire
A gentleman making very sexual harassment towards my female receptionist.
remain stubbornly high.
A patient that's just been brought in by ambulance.
I just wondering if my drink was spiked.
Despite all the progress made on equality, it is still predominantly females
Please, can you open the door, please?
who are on the receiving end.
She said she was scared and upset by your behaviour.
What is going on here? What?
Sorry to be personal, but do you have mental health issues?
No, I fucking don't!
What more can be done to tackle a problem that's as old as man and womankind?
She loves it.
Police emergency, can I help?
Ambulance service, how can I help?
Right, okay, whereabouts are you?
In Wiltshire,
All right, we'll get somebody out to have a look, all right?
2/3 of Wiltshire Police and South Western Ambulance Services 999 call handlers
Yep.
are female.
Blonde or brunette?
Neither.
A fact that a surprisingly large number of the male residents seem keen to take advantage of.
All I need is fucking massage.
You need a massage. All right, well, the ambulance service does not provide those, okay? Do you require an emergency ambulance?
You get told you sound very attractive quite a lot. I've been asked for my number a few times. I just tell them it's 999.
What's actually happened?
Oh gosh, I had one guy who was really, really drunk, who sang a little song to me about being nice and thin and going straight in. Yeah.
I had a guy who was very flirty. He was gonna lick my fucking asshole.
You're very, very rude.
And then he was gonna jam something in somewhere.
He sounds like a prat, doesn't he?
I was impressed by the imagination, if I'm honest, but not my sort of thing.
Excuse me?
Hello?
Can you suck my dick?
Right, sir, that is offensive. Do you need an emergency ambulance?
Sometimes they play porn down the phone, which is extremely uncomfortable. I've had a colleague who a gentleman's told her that he's tapping his penis on the phone, and she said you could actually hear like tapping on the phone.
You need to understand, this is an emergency service for life-threatening emergencies.
Sort of like robots, really. We're just a female voice. We're not a human with feelings.
Just suck my dick, please.
Right, I'm clearing the line.
Why has the 999 service become a sex chat line?
It's free.
Sadly, it's not only the county's female call handlers who are on the receiving end of unwanted advances.
Good morning, Robin speaking. How can I help?
Hello, hi. Basically, I just need to get a police officer around to one of my premier inns in Central.
It's 2 a.m, Friday morning, and yet another report of inappropriate behaviour is coming in.
There's got a gentleman there who's been very sexually harassment towards my female receptionist. Basically, he's been coming out, he's high as a kite, he's been going out smoking joints, and he basically got his genitalia out.
Okay.
She was going to call, but she's very, very nervous.
Okay, so just so you know, we have dispatched officers and they are on their way. Yep, I put this on as priority, so we will get there as soon as we can.
Thank you very much for that. She's very scared for her safety.
Just minutes after the call comes in, PC's Ian Woodward and Gareth Ivett are on scene.
Morning. Hello, you're right. I understand you've had some issues with a guest. Generally, the victims of these sexual offences are female. Obviously not 100% of the time. Yeah. And it is always difficult on a big burly police officer going in, and probably the last thing on their mind that they want to see is a male.
And he came up to me and he said, "You've got a boyfriend?" I said, "I've got nothing to do with you, really, has it?" He goes, "You're very attractive," stuff like that. And he kept going out, looking at me through the window. Right. Showed me a picture on his phone of bits. Right. Okay. I got shaken by then, and then when he came back in, he started getting his really out wanking. Right.
We can go and speak to him now, arrest him, okay, we can get a statement from yourself. Or as well, if you just want him kicked out for the night, then that's absolutely fine. That's something we can...
The trouble is he's here again tomorrow night and I'm on, so...
Right. Okay.
I mean, what he's done is a criminal offence in itself. You know, you can't go around exposing yourself like that, okay? Now, you know, ideally, in these situations, what I would like to do is get a statement from yourself, get CCTV, and then, you know, if we've got enough evidence, we'd charge him for that.
No, I hate court, I just don't know. I don't like being put on the spot. I'd rather you get him out.
Yeah. Which room's he in?
Room 3.
Room 3. She was scared about everything that had gone on. Obviously, you know, she's by herself, it's the middle of the night. You don't know these people, what they're capable of. This woman's just trying to do her job. She doesn't deserve to have some creep over her.
Please, can you open the door, please?
Can you make it now?
Right, regardless of that, we need to speak to you.
Are we being arrested?
At this moment in time, no, you're not. Just asking your partner to get dressed, and then we can come in and speak to you about this.
About what? Do you need to speak to us both?
Yeah, I need to speak to both.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because given he was there with his girlfriend, I couldn't work out what he was hoping.
I think I know what he was hoping.
We've had a complaint from member of staff for two things.
Oh, it's inappropriate.
Right. Certain people live lifestyles, and that's fine. That's how they want to live. I think you've got to realise that not everybody will share that lifestyle, and some things that you do, they don't want to get involved in. We can also smell what you guys have been doing now.
I haven't been doing anything.
Listen for a second.
I smoke, but I've not smoked in here.
We've got permission to search this place.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's the property of Premier Inn.
That's not a
okay.
problem.
Have you got anything on you at the moment?
No, it's all been smoked.
Right.
I did have a little bit, and I smoked it across the street.
Based upon what's happened, your actions, they're asking you guys to leave. Okay.
Okay.
We're here to make sure there's no breach of the peace while it happens. Okay. So you guys need to pack up your stuff and you need to leave. Some men don't think, oh, how's my behaviour affecting this woman? What does it mean to them? They just become overly sexual, overly aggressive. The vast majority who do it probably do get some kind of thrill out of it. You know, that's the concerning thing. You know, if they get bored of what they're doing now, what are they going to do next? If you change your mind, you can call 999 if you do want to make a complaint. Okay?
Well, you didn't deny it. I don't think you should get away with it because you can do it to other people, never himself.
Yeah. I can see you're nervous right now. Yeah, talk it over with your manager. It doesn't have to be a yes or no answer now. You can get back.
If a person's not willing to make a statement, I can't force them. And I would never overstep the mark. I will try and get my point across to them, but the decision lies ultimately with them.
I'm assuming the CCTV is, 30 days recording?
Oh, what we do tomorrow morning, we go through CCTV ourselves.
Yeah.
Because he was doing it out there as well, because he said he was making himself hard out there looking at me through the window.
Yeah.
And then come in, it's cringe.
Exactly.
Women should be doing this sort of job on their own nights.
I can understand why some people don't want to go to court. They want to call the police to get them there so they can deal with an incident there and then. Then they want to forget about the incident. They don't want to have to relive it. They don't want to have to keep going over it and go through it in a court with people and, relive that incident. It is a difficult thing.
You can call 999 if you do see him. If he does turn up again, then we'll just take him away.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Nearly half of women who are a victim of a sexual offence ultimately choose not to face court. But, after thinking it over, this victim has given the police a statement, and PC Woodward has brought the suspect in for questioning.
For the tapes, can you state your full name?
It is Daniel Whitcomb.
You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which later rely in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Right? I'm now going to show you the CCTV footage. Can you confirm that's you?
Yes.
There? That's you, okay. And do you know what you're doing at this stage?
I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
And then I show her the picture.
Okay. Picture of what?
A penis. You can't see her face either.
Yeah. No. But what I do see is she backed away when you showed her that picture.
Oh, she did?
Yeah,
yes.
You saw it on that time. She agrees she's backing away.
Yes.
To me, that she looks very uncomfortable there.
From this angle, that does look really bad.
Then you've gone outside to smoke your joint. Next bit she provides in her statement. Mel came back inside and he had his penis in his hand. I was extremely shocked as he came straight over to the desk where I was sitting and he was moving his hand, masturbating himself. What does it look like from here?
I'm always adjusting my trousers. I don't know if my penis could have shown during that.
Has society become more sexualised?
Sometimes I think a lot of these men don't realise how they are acting. You see some attitudes men have towards women and you could never understand that attitude or why they think they can do that. Did at any point you say to her, do you want cock?
I don't believe so.
Unfortunately, I think a lot of people don't understand that. What you see in pornography is not real life.
It was wrong of me, but I read the signs a little bit wrong.
Okay. Maybe this is something that needs to be taught at school level because there is a sizable proportion of society who don't seem to understand these rules and boundaries, what's acceptable and what isn't acceptable.
Good morning, Adam speaking. How can I help?
Hello, Adam. I run a small news agency. And early morning this morning, somebody came in.
Oh, yeah.
He then went along to where we keep all our magazines.
Yeah.
Then he went to the dirty book department and had a look at them and sort of said, do you sell many of these?
Yeah.
And he had his what's-it hanging out. Anyhow, it doesn't shock us. I mean, we're not young women. It doesn't shock us as such. But it isn't right, and it is definitely abnormal behaviour.
It's definitely barbecue weather. Do you know what we also call this weather, unfortunately, in Swindon? Cock-out weather.
Wiltshire Police receive 3 times as many reports of voyeurism and men exposing themselves than any other force in the UK.
This is when all the flashes start coming out.
We do get certain calls about individuals who go out on a morning when they know that there's going to be either mums walking their children to school or coming home after the school run, or dog walkers, runners. They're usually the areas that are targeted. And yeah, flashing, it does happen quite a lot.
That is one thing that did surprise me when I joined the police. I never realised that it happened, to be honest. Why they do it baffles me.
Police emergency.
I have had personal experience of that. I was walking along the street, there was a chap sat in the driver's seat of the car parked along the side of the road with the passenger window down and shouted, "Do you know where certain road is?" Which I did, so I was telling him, and he was masturbating at the time. But it didn't register with me. He drove off and I carried on walking to town, and I felt dreadful for days after that. And, horrible.
It's the early hours of Sunday morning, and in Swindon's red light district, PC Joe Tompkinson
No lights up there.
is out on patrol.
He paid interest to them in the phone box, didn't he? Hello, mate. Do you know the girls in the telephone box?
Sorry?
Do you know the girls in the telephone box?
Not at all.
Oh, that's fine, no worries. No, the only reason I just asked about the girls in the phone box, you just seemed to slow down just as you got next to them. Do you live in Swindon? You local to Swindon? You know what this area is then? It's our red light district. Yeah, that's fine. You pulled down a side street. I followed you. That's all.
Only because you flashed.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't until you turned the corner, though, did I?
Swindon is like a large town now. It is growing almost by the day, it seems, and with that, obviously, is going to come your increase in crime, your increase in prostitution. That's just inevitable. We obviously know it goes on. We see it. It's actually a little more difficult to detect than perhaps a lot of people give credit. People are quite inventive where they'll go, but then we're quite inventive where we'll search. So every now and again we'll strike lucky, as it were, and find somebody up to no good.
He's getting a blow, isn't he?
I'm just getting the story straight. Hello. Oh, that's nice. Who's the young lady on your passenger seat? A friend. Okay.
Are there telltale signs for illegal sexual behaviour going on in cars?
Steamy windows.
What brings you to this neck of the woods?
A bit like the Jack and Rose scene in Titanic.
I'm going to find our details, shall I?
The time it takes you to get out of your car and walk towards theirs, they'll have come up with a very quick cover story, but it won't last long.
I don't know.
It doesn't take much investigation to just separate out these people. They won't know each other's names. They won't know each other's dates of birth.
What are you doing with him then?
Just give me a lift.
Yeah, they always are though, aren't they? What's he said to you when he's pulled up next to you?
Nothing.
Come on, don't treat it like a twat.
I'm not treating him like that. I don't want anyone to hear.
Okay, that's funny, you can't hear. It's just me and you.
These girls, and in many respects that's what they are, girls, they're trying to survive and they are trying to keep probably a pimp off their backs.
Where's he picked you up from?
Down.
Whereabouts?
I don't want to say anything because I don't want to get in trouble.
I'm not after you, I'm interested in him. So what's the agreement?
Nothing yet.
Okay. How's the conversation gone when he's got in the car?
Fine.
As in what's been agreed?
Nothing yet. It's been
Okay.
agreed.
But you've talked about doing business, have you?
Criminalising these girls isn't necessarily the right thing to do.
Their vulnerabilities are preyed on. Drugs come in, alcohol comes in, and first and foremost, our priority has to be about looking after them. Hello, mate. Would you guys mind? There's a young lady of the night over there in his car. Yeah. Would you mind just dropping her back into town for us?
Yeah, of course.
Is that all right?
Yeah,
Thank you. Is that all right, yeah? Can you just go over to the car with me, please? Yeah, sure. You wouldn't insult our intelligence, would you? Because we've got quite a bit of policing experience combined between us. Yeah. And I've just had a conversation with a young lady as well. Right. So you and I both know, firstly, that I'm probably not stupid. Right. Secondly, that I've dealt with lots of gentlemen in your position that have picked up prostitutes from the town and brought them out to these remote parts. So we're not talking at cross purposes, are we? Right. There's a law against prostitution itself, and there's a law against curb crawling. For as long as I've been in, our focus in force has been against the curb crawling. Take a good lungful of air and blow a good steady flow of air into it when you're ready. Good man, keep going, keep going, keep going. A lot of it is supply and demand. Lovely. If you give the straw a twist. He's paying into this system that it's a perpetuating cycle, that you've got these girls that are going to continue to put themselves in harm's way for as long as there are curb crawlers on our streets. And it's a cycle that needs to be broken. It is Robert, isn't it? Okay. It's probably fair to say you are in a bit of trouble, Rob, actually, so I could call you Robert, couldn't I? Oh, Rob, your belt's still undone. Blimey. Have you used prostitutes before, Rob?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
I won't lie to you, so.
No, and I appreciate your honesty, and I won't patronise you then.
No.
But I'm sure your mother would probably have a fit if she knew you were out.
No, they know about me.
Okay.
No, but I've always been honest with them. My sister knows about me as well. I do not hide any dark secrets. I went through a bad divorce about 13 years ago, and I went...
I don't think you can stereotype a curb crawler. I've dealt with married men, I've dealt with single men, I've dealt with old men who are widowed. Those have been very sad. And I've dealt with young guys that are walking out through that area on their way out of town. We see it a lot, to be honest with you, when we do deal with people such as yourselves in this sort of situation. I think, in truth, their motivation varies as well. So there's people that are looking for companionship. There's people that are just looking for a way to get their end away, I suppose. Step out then, please, mate. Tar. Some people, you just look at and think, just go home and look at Pornhub, son, for Christ's sake.
Good evening, you okay?
Yeah.
You'll be a lot better off. But some people like the thrill of it, the power of it, the taboo of the whole thing. Rob, if I could ask you to slip your trainers off for me. Just slip your trainers off for me, if you wouldn't mind. And take your belt off. I appreciate it's half off anyway.
Did you feel he'd learned his lesson?
No. If you're arrested for offence relating to alcoholism or drug use, then you have the option to speak to an alcohol worker, you have the option to speak to a drug worker. Currently, as far as I'm aware, that option doesn't exist for people with sexual offences. And this isn't me going all pink and fluffy and saying, oh yeah, we need therapy for this, we need therapy for that, but sometimes you have to look at this situation and take a step back from it and look at where this is going wrong.
All right, I'm going to authorise your detention.
Police emergency, how can I help?
Okay, tell me exactly what's happened.
Last year, Wiltshire's emergency services responded to more than 100,000 999 calls.
Right, okay, and are you with her now? How old is she?
A growing minority involve male callers targeting female call handlers with misogynistic abuse.
Sir, do you require an ambulance?
Yes, baby.
So why do you require an ambulance? Please don't call me baby, that's inappropriate.
Responding appropriate.
I'll give it.
Slag is like a really overused word, actually. I don't know why, because obviously we're not doing what they want, then obviously we sleep around and we're all slags.
Okay, that's even more inappropriate, sir. What's the address of the emergency? If you continue to be rude, then I will hang up and terminate the call.
You really don't want to...
Sir, I've asked you already. Please don't call me baby. You need to tell me the address so I can get some help to you, or I will terminate the call.
I think women have become equal or more equal. And I think the power that women hold, especially, really makes some men feel lower and maybe feel like they need to take that power away to be the men that they think they should be.
Don't call me bitch, that's rude. So I'm gonna I'm going to end the call with you now. Don't call me bitch, that's rude.
I've been called a slut, a bitch. Something, I'm going to find out where you are and I'm going to come and rape you. Or something that extreme, and that automatically instills so much fear in you. And you know realistically it's not going to happen. But just that threat is enough to make you feel almost violated already. It always seems to feel like it's about the power that they want, and it feels really awful.
Hiding behind a phone might make it easier, but some of the county's men are prepared to behave similarly, face to face.
And your date of birth, please.
1949.
It's the early hours of Thursday morning.
I think you were here the last time I was here.
I'm sure I was.
Yep, sorry.
And in Swindon Custody Suite, 67-year-old Richard Kidner has been arrested on suspicion of carrying out a sustained campaign of harassment.
He was warned on the 9th of January via email about his behaviour, and also again by me on the 12th of February. Despite this, he still continued with his pattern of behaviour, which has caused him upset and distress.
It's now down to local crime investigator Dave Miller to get to the bottom of what's been going on.
Just the two of us, is it?
It is, yeah. Okay, the reason you're here today is you were arrested at 5:28 this morning for harassing a younger woman who works at a stables.
Never heard of her.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. No, it's on. Yeah. Carry on.
Okay, this is a serious matter you're here for.
I know it's a serious matter.
Okay.
I know it's serious. I wouldn't be here otherwise, would I?
Okay, so it's not a laughing matter, that's all.
No,
I
just a comment.
So you had an interest in one of the horses. What was the interest you had in the horse?
Oh, a syndicate, sharing a syndicate.
And was your interest in more than just the horse?
Well, eventually. I mean, she's a nice girl, you know what I mean?
At any point, has she asked you not to have contact with her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Numerous occasions.
On numerous occasions?
If you want the honest truth.
Do you understand if they say they don't want the contact, you should cease that conduct?
Yeah, and I stayed away.
Well, she said you'd been turning up the yard unannounced and ringing me more than I was comfortable with. This was witnessed by grooms at the stables who commented they thought it was strange and joked that he must have taken a liking to me.
Well, they're definitely right there.
We deal with sleazy blokes every day, unfortunately. Sex is a big drive in people, It's one of our basic instincts, basic drives. That sometimes is going to get skewed in some people, and some people aren't going to know the boundaries. Monday the 2nd of January, you turned up at the yard twice in one day. She said I started feeling worried that his behaviour was becoming strange. On Friday the 6th of January, at approximately 2:30 in the morning, you turned up on her doorstep completely unwanted and uninvited. So did you turn up at 2:30 in the morning?
This is all out of proportion.
What did you or didn't you turn up?
Yes, I did.
So what was the reason for doing that?
To do nothing, just to see her. Really, it was just an impulse.
So okay, let's get down to brass tacks. Did you want to have sex with her then?
No, that's not what it's about.
If it's not sex, what's it about then?
I fancy the pants off her.
Okay, so it is sexual.
Well, no, it's not sexual. It's
you went because you fancy the pants off her. You see, you think
that sounds terrible.
People talk about people having multiple personalities. There were times in the interview where it was like talking to a 11-year-old child who's just starting to discover sex. So being quite excited and jokey about that. At other times, he appeared to be an adult who was fully aware of what he was doing and the impact that was having. She said she sent a warning email regarding your behaviour, stating clearly what behaviour was appropriate as a member of the syndicate, and if you could not comply with this, it would be removed from the syndicate. Now, do you remember receiving that email?
I thought it was a come-on, actually.
You thought that was a come-on?
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't see that as a come-on. And I don't think most people would. It was all coming from inside Richard's head. If that's the way he approaches women in general if he's trying to develop a relationship, and if he's getting no's from them, maybe he has to construct something that will encourage him to keep going. And it may be that he thought 97 no's will then lead to 1 yes. 3 o'clock in the morning, I had a bang on my front door, and when I looked out my bedroom window, it was Kidner, so I leant out the window and told him to go away.
She told me to fuck off.
Okay. At 8:30 in the morning, you were on the yard again. You were obviously angry and you were acting aggressively. She asked you not to get so close and tried to back away. You followed her and asked me what I was going to do now, as I was trapped and I couldn't get out. So did you do that?
I think I did, yeah. Yeah, I think I did.
And she managed to dodge out of the way and run into the house.
She let me in there, that's the thing.
Where she rang the police. She said she asked her father to call you, and in her presence, she heard her father telling you in no uncertain terms to leave.
Fuck off, he said.
Okay,
so there you go.
We've got a moral duty to push it all the way. We've got to put pressure on them until there's a cognitive load, they call it. And all of a sudden they realise it's too much, and that happened a number of times with Richard, that there's, yes, and he'd swear and explode, and yes, I know. Okay, Richard, sorry to be personal, but do you have mental health issues?
No, I fucking don't. Do I seem as if I have mental health issues?
Well, what I'm having trouble to understand then is if somebody asks you not to contact them. And
I haven't.
Richard, you have had contact. You've told me.
What do you mean by contact?
Richard, you're talking as if you don't understand. You've been imprisoned, I know, for harassing somebody else.
Yes, I know I was in bloody prison before. And I couldn't understand it then. What are they doing?
They're saying no, Richard, and you're ignoring them. There's something called infatuation disorder, which may be what Richard's suffering from. If he is infatuated and he can't get that out of his head, he's going to keep going back, and that's not fair. That's not fair on the victim at all, and we've got to protect her. That's the first thing we've got to do. We've got to protect the victim. We've got to protect wider society.
What is going on here? What
do you think is going on? What do you think's going on, Richard?
I don't know.
Well,
this is getting on my bloody wick. What is wrong with her?
So, Richard, you think this is getting on your wick? How do you think she feels?
She loves it.
See, that's the problem, isn't it? Even though he's a reprehensible character, a small part of me would just want him to put my arm around Richard, because you think, what are you doing? You're in your late 60s. Is this your life? Come on, you've got to do something about this. It's clear you don't understand when a woman says no to you. You obviously don't understand what that means.
How can I know what she meant? Like, I'm an unmarried man. How do I know what women want?
See, you're making a joke.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are, Richard. He's probably always going to have the same thoughts, desires, feelings, but whether he can control them, whether he can self-regulate is the matter. And maybe with some treatment he can be given the tools to do that. If he can't, then he would just keep going into prison.
Richard Kidner, you are charged that between the 9th of January 2017 and the 28th of March 2017.
Do you understand the charge?
I understand the charge, but I'm just saying it's absolutely ridiculous.
It sounds like very old-fashioned, but an old-fashioned hospital for people with mental health issues might be the right sort of environment to try and get some treatment.
I'm just saying this is absolutely ridiculous that I got to stay here like
Come
this.
way. Let's pop you back.
To try and at least prevent him from committing the same sort of offences, displaying that sort of behaviour.
It's a bit of a game for him, isn't it?
I just want to slide her onto this. She's quite drowsy, so I'm struggling to do a proper GCS. Just want to try and rouse her a bit.
It's 10 p.m, Friday night.
Sorry, darling. Let's take these glasses off so they don't get broken.
And in A&E, a woman has been brought in after being found unconscious on the platform of Swindon Town train station.
Can you open your eyes for me? It's just a nurse. My name's Rian. You didn't have to do too much of an assessment to realise that she was quite unwell. You sort of sometimes think head injury if someone's unconscious, but there was no obvious wounds. Elizabeth. Elizabeth? Hello? What's been happening?
I don't know.
You're not sure? Would you like us to sit you up a bit? So you were in the Great Western. The paramedics found you at the train station, my love. You were a bit slumped, a bit drowsy. Can you open your eyes for me now? So we need to put a hospital gown on you because we need to have a look at your heart tracing and take some bloods and just find out why you're feeling so drowsy. Is that all right? Yep. All right. So, coming over the head, Puppet. That's it. So, what do you last remember?
I don't.
Where would you know where you were?
No.
No. Okay. Do you remember waking up this morning?
No.
She didn't look like your typical sort of drunk that comes in. So why is she so intoxicated? So what do you last remember? Do you know what day it is? Do you know what year it is?
17.
Have you any medical problems that you can tell me? Have you any pain anywhere at the moment? So who have you been with today?
I was visiting a friend, but I don't know what happened.
Is it a friend you know quite well?
No.
No. Is it a first-time friend?
Yes.
And what time did you... Is it a woman, a man?
A man.
Okay. So, where did you meet this man?
Online.
Online? Okay.
I'd like a relationship. A partner. Someone to love. My soulmate. To be with all the time. Like, I see lots of couples out there, and I've always wished I could have that.
Do you remember anything that happened when you arrived at his flat?
No, nothing at all.
Read his profile. I liked his picture. He looked handsome. Then we started talking on the phone. But he did live in Weston-super-Mare, far away from where I come from.
Hello, can you put me through to 101, please? I'm just calling regarding a patient that's just been brought in by ambulance. She's a 51-year-old lady who has gone to meet a gentleman this evening. It's the first time she's met him. She's met him online. She's got a lot of belongings with her. She's got a suitcase.
I suggested, what about if I come up for a weekend? When I got off the train, he spotted me, but he did not look like anything of his photo. Nothing.
Elizabeth? Elizabeth? Elizabeth?
I knew deep down in my heart that no. But I thought, what the fuck? I've come all this way. But sometimes I think you have to take a chance.
Wake up for me, lovely. Wake up.
We went to a pub, had a couple of drinks. And then after that, we went back to his place. He offered me a beer. So I drank it.
Elizabeth? Sweetheart, open your eyes for me. Hi, okay.
By the time Elizabeth has come to,
So you were found on a bench outside the train station?
Was I?
PC's Emma Wood and Emma Minty have arrived from Swindon Police Station to take more details.
And did you have any arguments at all? Or
No.
What was the reason why you didn't want to be there anymore?
I just realised it wasn't for me.
And how much did you have to drink?
I had 2 pints, and 1 can of beer. That was it.
Did you leave your drinks unattended?
Yeah, I did when I went to the toilet. I just wondering if my drink was spiked.
Well, that's what we're wondering as well.
It's quite difficult to confirm if someone's drink's ever been spiked because it goes out of the system so soon. Different drugs are being used and some people may not even realise that it's happened.
What we want to bottom out is we want to make sure that you know, there's been no criminal offences and that you've not been hurt or assaulted, or was there
No, I
anything
haven't.
concerning that happened that before we drop you off to the train station that we need to know about?
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
Nothing of a sexual nature had happened to her, but not being able to remember a space in your evening and being in a town that you don't know, you had no plans to stop off in, I think it would be anybody's worst nightmare.
What's the last thing you remember?
I said, could you ring me a taxi, please? And he was stalling on ringing a taxi, and I thought, right, this isn't good. But he drove me back to the train station, and I remember he dropped me off, and that is it.
I'd like to think people are more aware of looking after themselves a bit. But I suppose if he's welcomed her into his home and made her feel comfortable, then I guess your guard does come down a little bit.
All you know is that he lives in Weston-super-Mare. You don't know any other details?
Nothing.
I think if you're never going to trust somebody, it's going to be very hard to meet somebody in that kind of position, isn't it? It just reminds you that maybe people aren't as they seem.
And did anybody know you were going on this date? Like family, friends? No.
No.
Do all the relevant people know that you're here now that need to know, or?
No.
No. You just don't want to tell anyone.
When people find themselves in that situation, there is definitely an embarrassment about it, but it's so important to make sure you do tell somebody where you're going and where you are, and to be a bit cautious.
There's his number right there.
Okay, lovely.
That's his number.
Right.
Okay.
What did you do when you got home?
I cried. Cried my eyes out. Had a shower. Cried my eyes out. Hugged my dog. And didn't speak to anyone for a good couple of days. I was ashamed.
Men have been predatory towards women for hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years.
Is your attacker still nearby? Would it be okay if I give the police your number in case they do need to phone you?
Police have been criticised in the past for not taking these matters serious enough. Nowadays, it is taken a lot more seriously than it was.
And I just feel silly.
Okay, well, no, you're not being silly. You've called the police thinking because you feel you're in some sort of danger.
Offences relating to sex of any kind are very personal and very revealing. And I think that's what makes people embarrassed and maybe ashamed.
I really hate it. I just hate it.
Okay.
A lot of women still feel it's their fault. It's not their fault. It's about standing up for yourself as a woman and not being objectified and used.
Are you happy if someone come out and had a quick chat with you about what happened?
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
I think the more it's brought to the forefront, the more people feel they can speak out about it, which is great.
I can hear that you're a bit upset, but I need you to tell me what's happened.
It's less taboo than it was. And I think more women are speaking up about it, and men too.
The men in the pizza place have been forcing themselves upon her, was their words.
If you are a victim of a sexual offence, please let us help you. We are not going to be shocked, we are not going to be ashamed, we're not going to judge you in any way.
You've done the right thing by calling us.
We are here to help you get the justice that you deserve.
In order to avoid criminalising a vulnerable woman,
What brings you to this neck of the woods?
the man found with the prostitute wasn't charged with soliciting sex and was instead charged with drink driving. He pleaded guilty and was fined £600 and banned from driving for 12 months. The man accused of behaving inappropriately at the Premier Inn was cautioned for possession of cannabis.
Women shouldn't be doing this sort of job on their own life.
But with the victim unwilling to face the ordeal of court, no charges were ever brought against him in relation to indecent exposure.
Is it a first time friend?
Yeah.
Is it a woman, a man?
A man.
There was no evidence that Elizabeth had been sexually assaulted, and no charges were ever brought against the man she met. But she is still unclear as to precisely what happened to her during the hours she cannot remember.
I don't remember anything. No, I don't even dream of anything. I have nothing. Nothing ever comes back.
You're here still laughing about the matter.
No, I am not laughing about it.
Well, what are you laughing about then?
I'm not laughing. It's just...
You were just laughing, Richard.
Richard Kidner was found guilty of harassment, and, following a medical assessment, the judge sent him to a secure psychiatric hospital.
Oh, fuck off.